Well, John, I thought I would pick you up today and take you to lunch. My treat.
Dave, that was nice of you, but this Infiniti is running horrible, and your dash is lit up like a Christmas tree.
And that is precisely why I wanted to bring a master mechanic, because I don't think this thing's making it back.
It's not going to make it to lunch. Turn this thing around. Let's go back to Tech Garage, and you guys join us as we diagnose and repair this Infiniti. Welcome to Season 7 of Tech Garage, presented by RockAuto.com. Wow, Season 7, thanks to you guys. This is going to be the best season ever. We got Garage Ed, which is all about brakes, and we got a new segment called Master Technicians Tech Tips. You guys wanted it, you got it. And of course, we're all about the troubleshooting and diagnostics with the coolest demos on the planet. That's what Tech Garage is all about. Speaking of diagnostics, well, we got an Infiniti G35 in the shop, and it's got a misfire. We pulled it in, running rough, bucking, surging, not running good at all, even causing some backfiring. So, you know, it takes three things for an engine to run: spark, fuel, and compression. Got our handy dandy scan tool right here, went under there, plugged it in, and I got a P0300. That's a P0300. That's actually a misfire code on cylinder 3. Infiniti was kind enough to actually pinpoint the cylinder so we could find out what's going on. Easiest thing to check first, well, that's spark. So I'm going to come down here. I already took the intake plenum off right here. Once I took the intake plenum off, then all I got to do is go down here. There's two coolant lines right here. I disconnected those, and the coil for cylinder 3 is located right there. So I can sit here, pop the coil off, and what I'm going to do is once I get the coil off, I'm going to leave it plugged in if I can here, because I want to show you, do we have spark? That's the first thing we can check. That's the easiest thing to check. So I'm going to pull it up here. Got my handy dandy spark tester from RockAuto.com. Put it right here. And then what I can do is find a suitable ground and ground it. Get away from this joker. If it's working, it's going to throw some spark here. So we got our chief tech Josh in there. Josh, why don't you fire it up and let's see if we got some spark. Wow, we got good spark. All right, shut it off. Awesome. So we're pumping some spark out of there. That means it has to be fuel. Now, the fuel, you can take a look at this graphic right here. The fuel system in this car, well, it starts all the way back at the tank. The tank has the fuel pump built into it, pumps the fuel all the way up to the injector system, then it returns back to the car, goes back to the tank. There's a lot of fuel in between there and some tests we have to run, but really, it all starts at the fuel injectors. We got a problem with our fuel injectors.
Got a problem.
Yeah, we got a problem, and it's perfect timing. Just the guy we needed to see. This is Dave Dobson. He knows everything when it comes to cars. So Dave, I don't even see injectors, and we have an injector problem.
You got it? That means you and I are going to need to take the plenum cover off.
Not you and I. My hands don't get that dirty. We got a chief technician here. We assembled a whole team of tech, so this is going to be incredible. You know what? I'll get a cool demo set up. You guys get to the injectors.
Why don't you get out of here, and Josh and I will take care of this. All right, Josh, got a couple of bolts to take care of here. I'll switch out the socket.
I've never seen him run so fast.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? A little hard work shows up and John takes off. All right, we're ready to go. You want to do the hose clamps on that side?
Yes, sir. I'll do the hose clamps. What we need to do is just, on these bolts right here, go ahead and work from the inside out, okay?
Very good.
And I'll start working on this air plenum over here on this side, on my intake manifold on this side. One thing is, sometimes you don't have to take off the throttle body. And if you can avoid that, especially on these electronic throttle bodies, just leave it on there. Because if you take the throttle body off, you're going to have to replace that gasket. In our case, I can just slide off this hose off here. I've disconnected the hose here. And you may end up having to work with it a little bit. Like I have. I've taken one off before, but I've kind of forgotten some stuff. And so I'm going to take off what I know should take off, but we'll pull this thing up. And if something's connected, we'll still go ahead and take those off. Just be real easy with it.
Cool. And we were lucky enough to have a code checker. You may not have that, but you may notice that you have a big misfire. John is going to show us how to diagnose that and even find out what cylinder it is.
That's right, Dave. There's multiple ways to find a misfire. You can run a power balance test, you can get a scan tool and kill injectors, but true Tech Garage fashion, we are using a thermal imager. I created a misfire in this engine and ran it. Check this out, man. See the header? It's glowing red hot. You got fire. See the one next to it and that one? Well, that's the cylinder with the misfire. It's cold. Nothing's burning. Nothing's happening. So you can use a thermal imager, you can use paper clips, you can do what you need to do, but isolate that cylinder. Well, we know what cylinder ours is, so when we come back from break, we're going to go over there and hook up a fuel pressure gauge. You don't want to miss that. We'll be back with more Tech Garage presented by RockAuto.com.